All right, these are the reproduction mirrors for a 1972 C10 truck. I ordered from LMC, and they're listed as reproduction door mirrors for a 70 to 72 C10. And it says that this part's supposed to be stainless and this is just chrome plated, which everything looks pretty good. So the finish looks pretty good except for right here. There's on both of them it has some kind of weird markings on it, but I don't really care about it. It's not a show truck, but some people might care. It's definitely a flaw. And actually both mirrors have it, whatever that is. This is what comes in the box with the mirrors. You have a backing plate and you have a gasket and 3 screws. Oh yeah, there's the part number. Alright, so you'll have to take your door panel out. Mine was already out because I had something's wrong with the window. So anyway, so on the back side, the one part that's a little bit difficult to do is to get the backing plate. You have to put it in this hole right here and hold it. And unless you have fingers that are about 12 inches long, you won't be able to, you won't be able to reach it. So I taped it to a paint stick, and I'm just going to poke it in there and hold it and then put the screws in it. Really easy. It has just enough room to slide in like that. You can just hang it there for a second. And in case anybody's wondering, on a 72, the factory mirrors use these 3 holes. And if you order those mirrors from LMC with that part number, you'll get the ones that fit those. And it should be a 70 to 72. I taped that gasket on there. I just barely got the edge, so it's not even going to pinch it whenever I tighten it. You can see that plate inside. It's lined up about right there. And this is the part where I realized it is impossible to hold the backing plate with one hand and get the screws in with the other hand. That's way more difficult than it should be. So don't try to do it like this or you'll scratch your truck. Since obviously I didn't know what I'm doing, I'm going to tell you the 3 most important things I learned after I got started and then get back to how I finally got them on. Number 1, the screws that came in the box are not the same threads as the hole in the backing plate. I recommend getting screws that fit the backing plate, and they must fit the chamfered hole in the mirror base. The second thing, both mirrors have this minor blemish on them. I'm okay with it, but some people might not be. Number 3, these mirrors are way more difficult to install than I ever expected. I would recommend having someone help you hold them and using tape to protect your paint. Okay, so I'm like an hour into the project and I still haven't got my mirrors on. One of the problems I ran into is this plate right here. I noticed that those threads are a lot finer than the threads on the screws they give you. An idle adjustment screw, and that's very close to the thread. Oh, that's probably not even correct either, but that just kind of shows that the threads should look more like that and less like that. Not only will you have a real hard time holding this back there, but the screws won't fit. Well, at least they won't go in easy and smooth. You'd have to force them in there, or get the right size screws. It would probably be best to get the correct thread, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and force these in there because I don't know where I'm going to find screws like that, and I don't know. I'm just going to do it. But I would advise getting better screws. I already don't like the way this is going, but I definitely use this paint stick to hold it up there. Got my 3 screws in. I got tape around here to not scratch it. I don't really care about mine, but I'm just saying if somebody had nice paint, they would probably want to tape it up. And I'm going to try to put one in at a time, and maybe that will work. I quickly figure out this way won't work either, and that's why in the middle of the video I went ahead and skipped to the important parts of what I learned, because I actually find it kind of comical watching myself struggle with this. So I built this thing using angle iron and a few clamps to hold the mirror in place while I hold the back plate with the other hand. and put the screws in. I did use my paint stick to get the backing plate in the door in the first place, but this was still pretty difficult, and I think it's kind of comical watching it. And that's all I have for how the install went. I did use the screws that came in the box, even though they looked like the threads weren't very good. But I was just really careful, and they did snug up. But I'm pretty sure that if you were to over tighten them, it'd be really easy to strip them. And if you had ever had to take them off and put them back on, it might be a problem. Like I said, I recommend getting better screws, but I'm going to go ahead and just, go with it. So this is how they look. I think they look pretty good. I know I left some of the details out of the install, but I just think it kind of got ridiculous. It was almost like bloopers. Like, it was almost comical rewatching this. Like, I had so many problems and such a hard time with it. So that's why I'm just going to go ahead and stop at this mirror. I'm not even going to do the other one. But these mirrors will be on my truck in future videos. If you found this helpful or entertaining, please like and subscribe to you.